Authors Sam and Rob Fatzinger join us today on The Gist. Thanks for being with us, Sam and Rob.
Thanks for having us.
So exciting.
I know. I'm excited to talk to you both because you're co-authors of the book, A Catholic Guide to Spending Less and Living More, Advice from a Debt-Free Family of 16. So you have this great big family of 14 kids, and now you're grandparents of 10, and you're a financial success story, and then you co-authored this book. Sam, can you just tell us what this book is all about?
So we were kind of just praying about how we could help families know that they could be open to living debt-free. So this was our combination of, lots of prayer and working with Ave Maria Press to bring about, at this perfect time during a pandemic, bring about advice for families to how to live debt-free.
Right, and that's a huge thing that so many families do struggle with, and it's often a big source of stress even in a marriage. So, Rob, do you have advice for married couples that might be struggling financially?
Sure. First, pray together, pray about it. Be open, don't hide, spending or secrets or, don't have any financial
That's not
secrets.
okay.
Yeah. Don't have any secrets at all in general, but financial and, lay everything out on the table, all your assets, all your everything you owe, your credit cards, anything like that, and just make a plan. And if you need help, there's plenty of financial advisors that'll, even for free, that will assist people in doing that and to get on the right track.
Right, exactly. And, I think you were the one that kind of started this whole thing in your family, right? So you were the frugal one and then Sam got fully on board.
Well, Sam's always been frugal too, but I'm the numbers person.
Okay.
I do better with that. So I had started tracking and doing budgeting years ago and, working towards paying off the house and working towards retirement and retiring early, things like that.
Right.
And I was the youngest of 9, so it was just the way I was raised. So I didn't really know any different. And then Rob was just so great with numbers, and we knew we wanted to do anything we possibly could to be able to be open to life and to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. So we learned to live on one income. We learned to buy inexpensive food or find sales.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so that's part of what you share in this book are some of these great stories that, it's not just about crunching numbers. It's really a lifestyle, a way that you embrace of living. So, Sam, what are some of these benefits of living simply and spending less? What have you noticed in your family?
Well, the freedom and the thought that, we're leaving a legacy to our children, and just in general with right now during the pandemic and the reality of the post-pandemic kind of that everybody's going through, and people are finding that, jobs aren't secure, or even trying to order gifts for your family for Christmas. Like, people are actually doing what we've been doing for years, buying things secondhand, going to thrift stores, going to garage sales, using these as like finding brand new things for gifts, where people before were like, oh, I'll just click this button 4 days before Christmas on Amazon and we'll get all my shopping done. Well, that's not a luxury anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And so just our way of living has also, we gave birth to 12 children. And one day we got a phone call from a pregnancy center who asked us to be open to taking in a little boy for a couple weeks because his mom was having some struggles. And because we were living debt-free, we could say yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like, oh, we can't possibly feed another child. And then we got to adopt him, again, because we were living simply, because we got to do this. And then again, a couple years later, we got to do it again with a little boy we've had for 5 years.
Beautiful. That is so wonderful. So one of the things I loved most about your book is that your kids are fully a part of it. Rob, can you share with us, how did your kids contribute to the book?
Yeah, once we had the outline and the chapters organized, we set up a Google Doc and we told the kids what each chapter were going to be about, and we sent it to them and they could add comments to that doc. And then it was going to be an appendix, and then we wound up incorporating them throughout the book, so they each could contribute on most of them. Most of them did, the older ones.
Right.
And then love sharing that.
Yes, they absolutely did. And I love getting all of their different points of view. So some of them shared some stories, and we get some insider views of your family life that way. Sam, what's one of your favorite stories that you share in the book?
I love that my mom just kind of trained me without me realizing this. And probably my favorite story because my mom and dad are both dead. Again, I'm the 9th child, so I was, later on in life for them. And the story my mom talks about making a Thanksgiving basket for their church. And my dad they had 8 kids, and he just lost his job. But she had said she'd do this, and she used to always say, we take from Peter to give to Paul, kind of like we shift our funds around. And so she made this Thanksgiving basket, just total trust and faith that God was going to provide for their family, brought it to church, came home, and when she walked it to our front porch, there was already a basket there from the church had delivered. And she said, and it was so much better than the one I had made, so God had given back, like, even more. And that's kind of with our title about spending less to live more. Every family has their own story, and that's why it's so hard. We love to connect individually with couples. They can, contact us on Instagram and Facebook to ask specific questions, but that's what we love. Like, each family is going to find something. Like, we're going to save in groceries so we can spend it on Catholic schools, or we're going to homeschool so that we can eat organically, or so every family, we decided to live less and save money so that we could be open to life, and I could be a stay-at-home mom. So every family is going to find their own thing, but that was just the way I was raised. My parents were raised during, World War II, and even their parents were during the Great Depression. So that was just how you did it back then.
Right. And I love the stories that are just so life-giving, and the abundant living, that it's not all about sacrifice. It's about choosing your priorities, really was the message that came across to me when I read your book. But Rob, we only have a few minutes left here. So can you share with us where people can learn more about you, where they can follow you guys, get more information, and of course, get a copy of your book?
Sure. They can order our book from Ave Maria or from Amazon. And we have a website, FATZFam, F-A-T-Z, fam.com, where they can ask more information. We're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can download free chapters on our website.
Oh, that's great. So people can check out some of the content, and you guys, you're going to love it. You're definitely going to want to get a copy of this book.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Or buy one and then share it with your whole community, because that's what a thrifty person would do.
There you go. The frugal way, sharing the book. I love it. Well, my guests today have been Sam and Rob Fatzinger, co-authors of this amazing book that's going to really inspire you in your family financial life. Thank you both so much for being with me here on The Gist today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Danielle.